put me in goal. Well, they say, we know how to handle this, we do not need cops. They simply beat him up. He goes to a park, stands there, and he wonders, why, despite committing crime, I'm not being in the goal? Is goal to the privilege to be in the goal? And then the cops catch him for standing in a park where he was not supposed to loiter at that moment. Now for this guy, being in the goal makes him better off, not like not being in the goal. So there are individuals in our world for whom committing the theft might make them better off. I'm certainly not making a case for committing the theft. But those who commit the theft, commit it because they are better off in committing the theft. Indian Penal Code nowhere tells you to do something or don't do something. It simply tells you that if you do something, this will be the consequence. If you can afford that consequence, you can go ahead. My point is simple. Law is not a command. It's a misunderstanding. There is no legislation which commands. There is no legislation which commands. All legislation gives you information. Now, let me add on a little bit to this. Information which will help you make a strategic choice. Strategic choice to commit theft, to commit murder, to break houses, to break red signals. The choice is yours. But there will be a sanction attached to that. Now, you have to again weigh the sanctions in your mind. Would you be better off in going to jail? If you are like that gentleman in the story who wants to go to the jail, you will be better off in committing theft. So we have to understand this logic first of all. There is nothing magical about the law. People don't comply with the law because people are scared of the law. There is a subconscious sentiment in our mind, a reverence towards the law, and second, we know that law makes us better off. Compliance with the law makes us better off. That's the reason why we comply with law. Now let me take another statute, Article 21 of the Constitution of India. You have all heard about this clause. You know the Constitution of India. Constitution of India makes a command. This is an exception here. Indian Penal Code doesn't command. Law of contract doesn't command. Tax law doesn't command. They only give you information and the outcome which you will have, or the outcome which you will have if you act in a certain way. Now look at Article 21 of the Constitution of India. It's about protection of life and personal liberty. It says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. This is a command. This is a command, but it's not a command to the people of India. People of India are commanding the state that not deprive us of our life and personal liberty. Look at that. Nobody can command the people. We are supreme. Constitution belongs to us. Constitution is what Constitution is for a suburban rickshaw puller in Delhi. Constitution is what the Constitution is for a basket knitter in the remote Tamil Nadu. Constitution doesn't belong to any elite. Constitution belongs to us, we the people, and we are commanding here. Who is law to command us? We are the law. Vox populi. We are the law, we command. So no legislation commands except the Constitution, but Constitution is the people's command to the state. Now there is a fun funda here. You have noticed this expression, life. You read judicial decisions on life. Again, I do not know how many decisions are there on the meaning of the term life. Everything comes under life today. Everything, because the judges have stretched their imagination to the celestial extent that everything today comes under life, except one thing, right to being alive. You check any judicial decision here, your right to being alive or right to be alive doesn't come under right to life. It's only tangentially connected to that. For example, imagine a set of people who are living under the threat of an environmental disaster. They have a right to be alive. What the government would do under the right to life, under Article 21 of the Constitution, the government will take disaster management. Government will adopt disaster management and provide disaster relief to the people. Government is breaching their right to be alive. One of the interesting funda of the Constitution law is that you need to literally get deep into the Constitution to find that right to life includes right to be alive as well. I'm not getting into many illustrations. As I've mentioned, the classic case is people living under an environmental threat. I'm facing climate change, the disaster of climate change here. I have a right to be alive. Constitution guarantees me under the right to life, right to education, right not to be discriminated, right to equality, right to liberty, right to freedom, but I don't have the right to be alive. Because as long as climate change looms large before us, we have no, our right to be alive has been deprived. So this is another funda of the Constitution of India, that we have so much of ink poured out to define what exactly life means except the right to be alive. Now, so law is not information. That's clear to you. Law is not command. Law is just information. Only Constitution of India is an exception. You will find another exception also. So my summary is that no law speaks the language of command to the people, but people can actually command to the state through constitutions. There is one law which commands: international law. All treaties are commands. But unfortunately, the legality of that law itself is debated. So the irony here is that what is deemed to be the law cannot command, and what is not deemed to be the law can command. Well, again, international law will also have to be viewed in the same way as we viewed law. It is information which will help states to make strategic decisions on whether to become better off or worse off. Now, let me focus a little bit on the language of law. So I'm mainly going to draw on a fantastic article published in Harvard Law Review with the title Shallow Signals. Let me illustrate this point. You want to do a party on a Sunday morning and you're walking into a park. There is a board, alcohol prohibited. But by giving this example, I'm not supporting the consumption of alcohol, but this is just an illustration. You want to party by drinking alcohol, and then you find a board on the parquet, alcohol prohibited. But you see that behind, and you too open your beer bottles. Of all the people sitting there and drinking, the cops come and catch